Good morning. Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
What's up, guys?
Good morning.
Good morning, Ken. Man, we done ran it up on
We
these
sure
folks.
did.
You know,
Already. I'm already in a
Good
trade
morning.
too. Yeah,
hey,
the
that thing
thing.
went crazy when it got above with VWAP.
It went straight up to it. It's still kind of weird. I mean, that we come touch the highs now and not sweep them again, but we'll see. We're open. We're live. We are live. Yeah, it went straight on up there, touched the highs. Yeah, I'll be right back.
I would love to see these lows get snatched up.
Mm-hmm. You mean overnight, right?
Yeah.
Or right here?
So usually on bearish days it do that sometime, but we got yesterday's highs too up there. So we can't say that we could possibly
I forgot about
go up
that.
and mess with that.
Forgot about that. Yeah, I did see that earlier. I was looking at the chart. But yeah, we are we have rejected that area, that's for sure, man. We went down there and said, nope. We came right back up into the range. I'm trying to take it back down to 250 right now. I mean 150 right now, which is the midpoint of the day. You can see I'm running a trade right now on MNQ. It's almost there. I'm thinking if it could just get past where these big trades came in and where these trades came in earlier that kind of lifted price up. That's where I've got the order set at, is at those orders right there. There it is. Boom, I won that trade too.
Me too.
Nice. Very nice. I am double my goal for the day. I traded up to the high. If you guys seen in here, every day in mentorship I like to go over and look for key areas I want to trade to. You wouldn't believe that I was marking this up and I marked up this area and this area, and then I was analyzing the volume in this push down right here, and I had my box ready to go, ready to put right here. And when I went back to the chart, it had ran right up there. We were trading like down here, and within just 2 minutes, it was all the way up there at that level. I mean, I didn't even blink; it was all the way up there. So that's what made me trade from somewhere in here up to the daily high. So I got a majority of my profits from that already, and then from that
Has to
little,
do
yeah,
has to do with what Trump's talking. That's why all that volume came in.
yeah, we got it on time though.
Yeah.
Look like it's trying to go to 140. It's at VWAP right now. That 141 is the midpoint of the day. That's what I'm talking about. But isn't that funny how it oh no, it did. It touched 150. That TP was that TP was almost magical. Look at that. Got in right here and got out right there.
Nice call, man, on that one.
Yeah.
I caught a fat one.
What you trading? What'd you get?
On MNQ, because it was a big setup on the 30-minute.
Yeah.
It was a Titan setup going to the upside.
Let's see. We're 1 minute into open. All right.
Hey, Kim, quick question.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, what you think about gold being at all-time highs? Like, what do you think it's gonna do?
You know, it makes me want to stay away from it. I really don't like you know, I like predictable things. And if you've been trading with me for a while, you know. But I just want to point out real quick, 155, man. They've got. If you look right here, they keep on adding liquidity back here every time it's hit. They are really absorbing this area here. Just to point it out, this is liquidity on NASDAQ. There's a lot of trading happening right here. You see the stacked imbalances. So just to kind of point it out, this is definitely a sign of absorption right here. So these quick 10-point moves are easy to catch whenever it's doing that. You know, stack 10 points for 10 points or 10 points for 10 points. You could just get in and out so quick and so easy. Just be aware that that's how 10 points looks right now. It's very
And I have a
volatile.
quick question for you.
Hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I noticed something. I guess it's with the new indicator that's got the NYSE open range 78 points. Is that something new? I just hadn't noticed it before. Like it actually says it on my screen. Like there's some little green letters.
Sorry, I was talking to you. I was like, yeah, yeah, and you kept on explaining. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm looking right at it. So, yeah, that's new. That's a new session indicator. It gives the range. It gives delta if you enable delta. There's a couple different options you can set up inside of there, but yeah, it'll show you the extension from the previous range. So these are key areas we like to trade, and so you can see that's why that was the reason for selling this morning when I sold, and that was the reason for buying when I bought this morning, was this extension of the overnight highs. And you can see how we just barely broke above it and rejected. That's where I like to do my trades. It's very
Really cool.
predictable.
Okay,
And that
cool.
I didn't notice who I was talking to earlier, but to finish off with what we were talking about with the you know, with what we were talking about with the gold at all-time highs and trading it, it's exactly that right there. I really don't like trading gold at all-time highs or anything at all-time highs. I actually don't really like trading things when they're trending at all, because I don't know, it's just it seems more dangerous to me to get in when something's moving fast than when it's in a range. And so that's actually why I've got a couple things I'm releasing this week, and this is going to be one of them. And this is designed to help with getting in on trades that are moving during the trend right here. So I'm gonna be releasing that, where it'll actually exactly where you see these little green dots is where you would have entered your trade. So you, as you can see, it picks up on price when it's moving down real quick like that. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the thing that I'll be primarily using to trade when it's super trendy. I'm working on it right now.
Good morning, Karen.
Good morning.
Today is not a good day, so I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm done.
All right. Well, we can talk about it if you need to.
All right.
That high there, that sell off the daily high.
Yeah, that was nice, huh?
Buyers, look at that last Delta candle. Buyers were so present to begin that candle, and then halfway through it, they just got massively overtaken.
What, at the top?
Yeah, at the top. Yeah, at the very top. Look at that Delta candle at 738. You see that massive top wick?
Mm. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
they were pushing price up, and then sellers took over hard halfway through it.
well, let's see if they defend it. That's the key thing right here. Is seeing if they actually defend that right there. That area now. You know, when price goes back. You could definitely see where the sellers came in. Look, the POC even shifted right there.
Yeah.
See, this is a 10-point zone I like to trade. See, and you see how price came back. Look, it hit that area, and it's ran 10, 20, 30, 40, 40, almost 50 points off of a 10-point stop right there. And you see how
Nice.
it retested that volume zone inside of there. That is nice. And yeah,
I got it at 215. Could have held longer.
yeah, right. And you seen it right inside of that delta bar. That's, you see why I said that those are so powerful if you know how to use them. They really show what's going on inside of the candle.
Someone's got a high pitch going on the mic.
Somebody shut that kid up. No, just mess with you. It's okay. I have nothing against kids. I have kids. Mm-hmm. We're at midpoint of the day.
Yes, we are.
I like this spot right here. A lot of trading happens right around there. See all those orders?
Going down. Elevator going down.
Yeah, and look at the liquidity where you can kind of see.
More
Obviously,
out.
there's a lot of big liquidity below the daily low. That's obvious. That's why we, focus on that. But look at where we are right here. It's a lot of volume here. And just look at price. Remember to look at price as behavior and always ask yourself, is price behaving the same way it was last time it was here? And then I'm just going to leave it at that. Take it for what it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so it'll tell you the whole story you need to know.
So then would you hold off right now on any Titan setups that come up? Or do you think these are fairly trustworthy right now?
I personally would not. Hold on, let me think about this for a second because we are at the midpoint. If I was to do any Titan trades, I'd be looking for a buy right now. But hold on,
Yeah, I just pretty much activated the Titan.
Yeah, so I'd be looking for a buy right now, and it's strictly because I could see that previously price came up to here, it rejected, it tried to go down, and it failed to push down, right? We're at the midpoint of the day. We're at the VWAP. We can see that buyers came in. We could see that price actually went up. So we could see that buyers stepped in aggressively, and they were rewarded. Now that price is back here, if those buyers are involved in any manner, they would be defending right now, and that would be pushing price up. So if you got a Titan in an area like this, the only Titan I would be interested in trading would be a buy. And that's because you see, I've already marked the areas that I'm interested in trading at. You see, and it's this area here, which this is kind of where we're at, but that I wanted to trade this area here because of this. So we could really just, that this already happened earlier. That was that. So we'll just get rid of that for now. Forget that ever happened. These are the main areas that I really would like to trade. And we already traded this one. So we already traded this one. We already traded that one. And that basically leaves this low. It leaves this low. Which if we break this low, we're definitely going to this low. I know for a fact we're going to, because that's only 20 points away. And it's a session low from a while ago. You can't see it, but I went and I looked for it. Now, if it breaks this high, I haven't actually mapped anything out to see where we would go from there. But what I would do is I would grab a like a volume profile, whatever I'm trying to say, volume profile, and I'd put it like this, and I'd look for volume inside of here, right? I'd look for volume. So you could see I've got delta set up on my volume where this is trading views delta, but at least it highlights where it sees a change in delta. That gives my eyes an area to focus on. So obviously these areas where trading happened, so we'd probably be looking in areas like this, areas like, like this, where the old POC was. I need to zoom in a little bit. But that's just to give you an idea. That is what I would be doing. I think that was a nice pop right off the middle. I think that was a great little pop wherever it came from. I think that was nice, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for. Let me see though. Yeah, no, that was nice though. Don't get me wrong. I see what happened there. It was a little break of the session low. I didn't know that's what you're talking about, Clyde. Whenever you said the break of the low, I didn't realize we were making a new low of session. New low of session is similar to trading one of these like outside of the range areas, high or low. I'll put it this way. It's in the order flow course. I have current session high and low as an inflection point, but you need to use that carefully. Like current session high and low are probably some of the weakest inflection points that you're gonna trade, depending on what happens. All right, because these being created right now, and again, that depends on the order flow that
It was
happens
like
during that
bounce off
time.
that V too.
Yeah,
That VWAP bounce was killer.
yeah. We ain't got no Titans yet. We did get the reversal indicator though, right up at the very top. You know that means that was a good flush if the trading view flush indicator picked it up. Like let me just put it this way. This just goes to prove anybody can trade these flushes if you know the pattern, even if you don't know order flow. If you're using trading view, just because it is a pattern, but knowing order flow helps a ton.
It do help out a lot. I knew it. Wanted that 220, that little short time, them little short term highs it made.
Yeah,
But
right.
I had went down to the
That was the first
15.
Titan win. That was the first Titan win.
Let me go look at it. Do we finally got one? That man. All right, first one since session open. First Titan win.
Look like it want them the high today right now. It might
Look
get a
to take.
pullback to about 180 something,
Yeah,
185.
I'm glad it's winning, but this is kind of like to me. Location wise, just location wise.
Being at the top of that range like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, it could have been anywhere else, and I'd have been a little more happy with it. Again, like I said, cool that it won. Love seeing winning trades, but I like quality. That's what I get most excited about. Really good quality trades, because those are duplicatable.
Are you talking about that Titan that just won?
I
Yeah,
think they took this one, Ken, because they was thinking more continuation to the upside. But like you said, without it having any pullback going straight into a Titan, it'd be kind of tough on some of those.
but look, I gotta say this. I built Titan to give me trades in areas where I would need structure, because I couldn't. I built. Let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. I built Titan for you guys because I just y'all see how I trade. I like to trade range edges and reversals. Basically, I like to trade reversals, and specifically, the group said we need something that we can trade on our way to those reversal levels, right? Like as price, because people were saying it sucks because we have the reversal levels. We could see where they're at. They're way up there and they're way down there. I could see the reversal levels, and we're sitting there watching price go to them every day. And then they were like, if we could do something, like if we had an indicator that would just help us get in, on the way up to those levels. And so I said, well, there's only one way I know to trade that, that I'm super confident in, that's a continuation pattern. And that's the good old, what we've always called the LB, the lightning bolt pattern. That's a continuation pattern. I've already built indicators based on things like that. But yeah, that's how the Titan came out, was because it was built for continuation style trades. And so I like them. I like them because it gives me the confidence that I wouldn't normally have to just take a trade here or take a trade there. But I still, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm here on the chart and I could see Titans and I could see, areas that I want to trade. And normally what happens is I see an area that I want to trade, and when price is in that area where I want to trade, if a Titan was to pop up during that time, I get excited about a Titan. But that's when I would use a Titan. I'm not normally leading with a Titan. And so, a lot of times I'll be sitting here waiting for price to get to a certain area, and I'll hear somebody say, "Oh, there goes a Titan." And I can't help, I already have a bias. I'm already thinking, "Oh, I'm in wait mode." You know what I mean? I'm not ready to play mentally because I've already thought about, "Oh, well, I'm only gonna do something when price goes over there." So, y'all got to just understand the way I'm looking at the market when we're doing this together. If you're not thinking about key areas and strictly focused on trading those areas, you're going to be more likely to want to take every Titan that pops up. And if, depending on if you're just building confidence, I'm not going to say that that's wrong. I want you to build confidence in it and use it the way you want to, but just know that my observations and my feedback that I'm giving you is based on how how I look at the market. There it goes too. Look at that. See, these are. Let me see. See, these are areas I'd be more interested in trading. Once we get up into areas like this where prices, you know, popping up above this daily high. I know previously is sold. I'm gonna ask, and what I'm wondering right now, and what I'm kind of asking is, I'm looking at the behavior of price, and I'm asking myself, is it reacting the same that it reacted here and here? Right now, no, it's continuing. It's price right now is being accepted higher. I'm gonna look at volume. Is volume increasing? Right? Yes, volume is staying very consistent. Prices are continuing to push up. This looks like acceptance to me right now. So depending on my trade style, see, this is where if I seen a Titan, I'd lean into a Titan, right? Because we have acceptance outside of the range. Now, if and that gives us a perfect location here, because see this setup here, if this closes and I see sellers come in, I could be either way. I could be in any type of position. See, it's gone higher, so that makes me lean away from selling a little bit more now. I like to, when I see selling, I like to see hard buying straight into here, stop, failure to go higher, sellers activate, and then I jump in with the sellers. This again, look to me, looks like continuation. So I'm just not going to get involved yet. Oh, it doesn't look. I don't know. It doesn't look too bad. Looks like they're coming in. See, this is the delta right here. This is literally, if you guys know what delta is, this is telling you the amount of buy orders and sell orders in that candle right here. So it's actually showing you if there are more buy or more sell orders in there. And this is selling, but I'm not going to sell it this time because it doesn't look very strong. And I'm already at my daily goal, by the way. You guys, I think if I keep going, it might be considered greedy. This is where I'm at right now. And you see how I got these 10.
Are
I
you
got
taking
these.
those trades live?
I got these 10
Like with
point.
it right now?
What?
Oh, sorry, I was just saying, I was just curious. Have you been taking those trades live? I just haven't noticed, or I'm just trying to get a feel for like when you're trading.
I just took 2 trades. One of them was the trade that I shared before the session even started. I shared that at like 9 o'clock this morning. And then the other trade was actually, I took both of my trades right before open this morning. I took one on the way to open, and then I took the other one maybe 1 minute before open, 2 minutes before open, and traded down to here.
Okay.
I think I took, yeah, it was just those two trades.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure I wasn't missing something if you were like entering trades like live here and I just wasn't catching on.
Yeah, no. If I'm gonna take one, I'll tell you. I'm gonna look for 10 points here, or I'm gonna look for this. Right now, I'm
Gotcha.
just kind of narrating what I'm seeing, and like I said, when price broke above those highs, it didn't look the same as it looked before. Last time, it just strictly rejected, and here you see we're kind of pushing up a little higher, volume staying somewhat steady. This looks more like we're having more trading and acceptance up into this area. We got liquidity here. Start watching and see how it reacts to that. Look at trading view. This is that zone I drew up right here. So get out of there.
Good morning, guys. How is everybody doing?
Doing good. Good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. Ken, I'm happy, man. I passed my evaluation, brother.
Congratulations.
Woo!
Nice
Congratulations.
job.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate everything.
Yeah, good job.
Yo, way to go, man.
What was you said it was a 50K or what size?
Yeah, it was a 50K. Yeah, it's
Nice.
50K. Yeah. So I guess I just have to wait
Ready.
now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just got to wait now until they do something, I guess, or, I don't know.
You passed it this morning?
Yeah, it was this morning.
So what'll happen is today at market reset, you'll get an email.
Okay.
And it'll say, oh, you passed, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to go. They changed the back office. I think it's easier now. You just go into the back office and you can pay for all of your stuff right there. So, and
all right,
then
cool.
You'll activate your performance account and it'll be ready to go right away. So everything you do from this point forward is all for the money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm still taking it. I'm taking it slow, man. I'm taking it slow. Yeah, one bite at a time. Yeah,
Yep.
Yes, sir. One mini bite at a time.
Right.
So,
Well, I'm really happy for you. I can't wait to see what you do.
Yes, sir.
Like
Yes.
Ken said, stick to the high quality setups, man. You winning.
Yeah. I noticed patience and sitting on your hands and waiting for it. Let the market come to you. Look for the high quality setups, and then execute and get in and get out. So don't be greedy. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, hey, you're welcome, and great job. Thank you for sharing that. I hope it inspires everybody to stick to it. I know you've been I know you've been disciplined. You were watching for a while, and you were like, all right, like I see what you guys are doing. Just the whole understanding of structure, and I hope that going into the mentorship and doing what you did and and everything helped you to create that structure that you needed. And then and then moving forward is keeping it and maintaining that structure. It's an ongoing process.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. I agree. Yeah. So with a lot of prayer, getting my emotions and stuff under control, and trying to eliminate that fear and working on my subconscious and writing some things down and just listening to everything you said over the few months. It's really helped out. So I feel like I can go nowhere but up from here, but I'm still going to take my time and be patient and it's going to work out. It's going to work out. But I definitely feel really, really great this morning, and I'm happy for the losses too. Let me be clear about that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, let me celebrate those losses, because if it wasn't for the losses, I wouldn't have learned, or I
Right.
wouldn't be learning. So
Right.
I'm happy for those too. Yeah.
Gotta take those with it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. But thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So, but it was one down, 19 more to go.
You got it. Hey, you got it. You now see, the thing is, you now have the blueprint. You know, that's the thing, is you now have the blueprint, and that means you can do it again. You know, you can do it again, over and over and over and over again, and that's what's important, is that you now have the blueprint. And so, you know, through the process of, you know, picking your strategy, dedicating yourself to it, having the discipline, and saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and then doing
Yeah.
it. You see, you made it. You know, maybe you do realize it, maybe you don't yet, but what you developed and what you created, it's almost invisible. You know, it's not something that you could walk around and show people. It's, you know, it's the discipline that they're talking about that can't be bought. You know, it can't be bought. It almost can't be taught. It's something you just have to experience over time. You just have to have somebody to show you, and somebody to help you structure it and say, okay, and, you know, and help you visualize it. You got to be able to, you know, it's true. You don't believe it till you see it. That's how people are. They really just don't believe it till you see it. And so if you've got a way to where you can show somebody something, help them visualize what the success is like and what it's going to look like, and how, you know, you've got to be able to really clearly see, okay, Ken, you know, we talked, we came up with a plan. I can visually see it. I can almost hold it in my hands. Once it's real like that, it's so much easier to execute with purpose every single day, and you get it done. You make a little progress. You didn't go too fast either, man. You really didn't. So I'm really
Yeah.
happy with how you handled yourself and the whole situation.
Well, yeah, I'm of the, I believe that this works. I've seen people do it, and you have definitely been inspiring in this whole in the journey so far. And it's just good to be a part of a positive group where, yeah, learning sometimes is painful,
Yeah.
But I see it, and I'm like, man, you can do it, and I see it. You know how you can see something, but haven't really experienced it,
Yeah.
but yet I believe it, so
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, okay, I can do this. As hard as I worked in corporate and had to put up with all of that mess, and I'm like, oh, hold on, I can do this, so if I can learn that, I can learn this too. So that's the attitude that I came with. It's just sometimes we want it now, but now isn't always good. You got to go through and get your lumps, and take the good with the bad, and but the bad is not really bad. It's bad. It's just part of the learning process.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm grateful, and I'm thankful, and I just believe that that God blessed me to find this opportunity, and I believe that it's going to help me, my wife, and I, and my family, reach the type of goals and the life that we're looking for as I learn a new skill.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, because the world is changing, and we got to develop new skills and new ways of making money, and I can't just depend on the old way.
Oh, that's the truth. That is the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah. So anybody else out there, guys, it works. Stick with it.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Yeah, and just keep us in the loop. Keep showing up, letting us know, what's happening and how, and
Oh,
everything. So
I ain't going nowhere. I'm right
yep.
here.
Yeah, he said, I'm right here.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Be blessed. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't really have many more ideas, you guys, right now. I mean, we're at kind of a weird area. We came up to these levels, right? These are like little pullback levels that I could see. There's not anything super specific that's in here. Now, to me, what's more important than anything else is this midpoint, right? We blasted through the midpoint. We are officially more than halfway. Oh, I mean, we broke through it with might. I mean, you see, I mean, it was serious. Someone knew it was there, and they said we're getting through it, and we did. And so, to me, what it looks like is that we could end up at these highs. I mean, look at what happened. We went, throughout all of yesterday. We went and we cleaned out all the lows, just sweeped them out, cleaned them all out, right? And then lifted off, right? Took out all of today's highs. Now we have all these untested levels up here. See, all of these, they're extending because they've never been tested. So the market loves to go to areas like that, right? So I'm thinking that's probably where it's heading right now. That's what I'm thinking, but I don't know. But as I said, a lot of trading coming in right up here at the top right here. I'm just looking on my other my other chart. There's a lot of volume inside of this candle and this candle right here. Let me just take a little peeksy here. Yep, stacked imbalances all across the top. There is definitely some absorption starting to happen right up here. I'm not saying that it's permanent, but this might end up being a. I mean, just look at price. It's staying here right now, right? Just look at what price is doing. It's starting to stay, and so that might give you some opportunities to trade the outside areas of these until it goes to the next area. So that might be an idea for now. Only saying that because I could see big long wick right here, and there's lots of volume inside there, all around the close of this or the open of this candle. And then there is lots of volume inside of this candle as well. And most of the volume's all right inside of here. So it's like kind of concentrated like that. Let me see. I'm just zoom in. Yeah. Yeah. So, we can watch this area, but if you'll add some round levels, I have a round level indicator for TradingView. If you just look up, if you've added it to your favorites, it's round levels. You can add that on here and then just enable the 10-point ones like that. And you can you see how, I mean, normally 10 points is quite a distance, from 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. It's quite a distance, but when it's touching 10 points to 10 points in one candle, you know that the market is really volatile, first of all. But that gives opportunity because look, that I'm just pointed out that you could have made look one contract, all right, 10 points, one contract, $200. Okay, there's 200, 400, 600, 800. There's $800 right here, all right here in 4, 5, 6 minutes right there. Just wicking off of there. I'm just giving you example that that when it ends up in an area like that, right? Or even price wicking down to here. You could snag a buy right here for 10 points. You could have grabbed a buy here for 10 points. Could have bought here for 10 points. Could have bought there for 10 points. You could be buying here for 10 points. So, or you start sticking to this little outside edge here, right? Because normally it'll start to go. Or here, let me restart this drawing. Normally it does this, right? It'll come up. It'll make the high. Then it'll come down. It'll make a swing low, right? And then we're going to tap outside a little. Then we're going to tap outside a little bit more and tap outside a little bit more, right? And so just keep focused on those areas. And if you've got a 10-point area inside of there, that could be your spot. So watch how price reacts here. If it comes down here, you maybe take you a 10-pointer out of there. That's some ideas. That's some ideas. You could either trade in the range or you could wait until price gets all the way up here, which is going to be around 4, pretty much this whole area, right? It's if it touches this area, I feel like it's probably going to touch all these areas. So you might as well look at this whole thing, like this whole thing there. Yep. All right.
And Ken, it looks like pre-market was better than the regular New York session.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm actually about to hop off here because I'm not seeing near as much action. I mean, it was great. The beginning of the session was well, actually, no, you're right. Right
Should be
before,
coming down
right
right now.
before the session is where it was really, really good. I heard you, Clyde.
8 o'clock, man. 8 o'clock. She took off, man. I was sitting in the buy, and that mug just ran away from me.
Yep. Let's see
So
if
I
this
say about 8 o'clock. It really took off about 8.
There's your 10 points. If any of you did what I said if it breaks below here, where did I draw that at? I cannot make this stuff up. Where did I draw that?
Ken, there's some money right there, ain't it?
Yeah, I don't know where I was drawing at though. I think it was this one. I wonder where it went. Had all those boxes up, but yeah, I said, see now you can't even see that it happened. You can't even see that it happened. See, nobody would look at this candle and even ever know that there was a winning opportunity there. See, that's how people don't even know that there's opportunity here. But we saw that happen. Wherever I was drawing that up, I said, look, it goes up to here, and and then it comes down, and then does that, and then does this, and it does this. And I said, watch when it taps right below here. And I had drawn this range up. I said, if there's a 10-point level inside of one of these, one of these somewhere in here, and then boom, you see 10 points, 10 points. Those happen constantly. It's actually kind of dangerous how often it happens, because you can get in there, especially if you're bored, especially if you're bored on MNQ, and you just start going, oh, 10 points, 10 points. I'll try it here, I'll try it there. We got synchronized selling right there. That's what that means. Synchronized selling across all these symbols and above average volume. That's something else I got to get some eyes on, just to have you guys start looking at this. The more that we do the order flow stuff, I want you guys to start checking this out with me. I feel like there's going to be some meaning that we could apply to this when we see this synchronized buying and synchronized selling together at certain areas. I've been watching it, and there's no way that it could be a coincidence that, like, right around these key areas like this right here, we start getting this like increased volume and synchronized price activity. And it's always right around these levels right here. You start getting those types of things. And so I was watching it yesterday. I saw some pretty cool things. Some things that made sense, some things that didn't make sense.
Hey Ken, I have a question for you on your order flow execution. How are you? What are you using? Like market orders? Are you using limit? How are you entering your trades to get the best fill possible? I guess how are you setting them up?
I normally do limit orders. That's how I normally set. If I can do anything, I'm gonna try to do a limit order. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
and a lot of times I'm waiting for price to come to me. Right, so I'm already waiting for price to come to me, so that's not too hard. I can literally just set my limit order and wait for it. So like if I'm a lot of my trades, like I'll be looking at it and I'm thinking about selling right here, so it's going to be a limit order. And I always try to go for limit orders if I can, if at all possible. I always try to stick to limit orders because of the obvious, but
Better execution, of course.
yeah,
I guess
well,
my
it's just
question is like,
super
how do you
predictable.
super predictable, yeah, as well, because you know exactly what you're gonna get filled on. But I guess my question is like, how do you like? So do you see the change of hands coming at like a flush, and then you place your limit order, or like how do you? I guess how do you get the limit order in while still being confident in your confirmation?
Well, practice is one thing, right? I know you're a few days into this, so it's
Oh, for
easy
sure.
to once you see it, you don't unsee it, right? You're gonna once you see the order flow, you're gonna be like, whoa, whoa, and that's why I tell people, I'm like, hey, I actually gave everyone warning, like, don't watch this course unless you're ready for like you to view the market differently. But and it's actually important because people that have been trading for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, when you go and show them a course like that that changes the way you look at the market completely, it's a big deal. And so, but the problem is that it's with that it's like getting a new pair of glasses, and now you can see really well, and you see a lot of opportunities, right? And so you have got to understand, and you'll learn very quickly that order flow is only important at key areas. It's just like any other strategy. A strategy works, most strategies work great, but certain strategies thrive, or I should say most strategies thrive at certain places or in certain conditions. And so order flow, it is, if you think about order flow is just that. It is the flow of orders coming in. Now, human nature can become somewhat predictable, and that's really what we are observing, right? We're observing the behavior of humans or algorithms that humans have designed. We're observing that behavior at specific areas. And so you want to think about the urgency, the aggression, right? Like when these setups are happening, when order flow is involved, you'll hear me say a couple things, and they'll be clear to you when the time is right. But it's when I say things like, um, you want to focus on finding areas where traders are forced to act. That's where order flow is going to work the best. And so now I'll answer your question. So because I'm saying what I'm saying, because you might start having questions like, oh, or you might feel like, hey, this is hard, almost even like, I'm trying to get into these trades, and I'm trying to take the trades when the setups happen, but this is happening, that's happening. Sometimes if you overexpose yourself, you know what I mean, to something, it's like it's almost like over practicing, you know what I'm saying? And then because you're practicing so much, you're dealing with lots and lots of market conditions, and those are not key inflection zones, right? So just think about your practice, right? You're sitting down to practice. Do you want to practice um well, I don't know how to put that exactly, but it's like, I guess the best way to say it is, like, you want to, like, if you're going to practice, you want to practice on things that are perfect, right? You want to practice hitting on the things that matter, right? You want to improve, you want to practice taking good trading setups, and don't practice taking medium setups or setups, don't mix exposure, and experience with practicing, because there's executing and clicking buttons and getting good at executing a strategy and understanding mentally and physically understanding a strategy. And then there is just, I'm just going to try to click this and see if kind of like what you had said before, like the law of large numbers, like, I guess what I'm saying, and I'm not saying this so much for you because I feel like you already understand this now, but for other people, when they see something that starts to work well, they just lean into it, and they're just like, I know this works well, so I'm just going to use it, and I'm just going to, I think, because I have confidence in it, I think that it's just going to work out positive over time, And so what they end up doing is they say, this is valid, that's valid, this is valid, that's valid, this is valid, that's valid. And while they all might be valid setups, that doesn't absolutely mean that they're the best setups, because the best setups are going to be time, right? Because things do happen at a certain time, So like there are known routines, for algorithms opening up and institutional desks rebalancing and things like that. So there is a order of things. Like the closer you're trading around the open of the session, the more routine things are going to be. You know, the more routine things are going to be. The further away from the open you get, the more random things are going to be, slow things are going to be, and stuff like that. And so I said all of that to say, to fully and finally answer your question, is it takes practice, but it is the pattern is, you know, this happens, that happens, and then this happens. If I see that type of a thing happening, then I accept that I can be, I've already accepted this a long time ago, right? I can either be right or wrong, right? But once I see enough of the shift happen, right? Once I can watch the order flow, and based on my experience of using order flow, when that little switch changes in my mind where I say, okay, I now can see the sellers, right? I'm looking at an area that I anticipated sellers to come in, or for buyers to get absorbed, or there to be a present, right? I am looking for that change of hands. That's what I'm looking for here. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching the orders flow in. As soon as in my mind, that thing says, okay, there they are, then I move immediately to positioning. And my most important thing is, okay, I am now green light to sell. What's most important is that I get an entry that makes sense, right? That allows my stop loss to be what I want my stop loss to be, and it allows my stop loss to be outside of my invalidation point. So it's just mentally understanding order flow as a strategy, physically understanding and knowing how to execute it, right? This is the same with every single strategy I do, right? If you notice. And then the other thing is just using a combination of that understanding, watching and observing, and then once the chart tells me, you know, that's the best way I could say it. I mean, there's, because with order flow, it's not like like a red light or a green light's going to pop up on your I mean, actually it kind of is. It kind of is going to pop up on your screen, you know, red or green, but it needs to happen at the right area, and you have to say, okay, based on my experience of using order flow and what I've learned, I now see the sellers here. And then you take a stab at it, and some of them you win, some of them you lose. The longer you do it, and the longer you stick to doing it the same way, the better you're going to get at doing that exact thing. And sometimes I show up, I'm going to leave it off with this. Sometimes I show up and I take a stab at it, and it stabs me back. And then I say, hey, you cut me. I say, all right, I'll watch you for a little bit. And then it goes up a little further, and I stab it again, and it stabs me right back. You know, so, and sometimes it's like that. You know, sometimes you're reading the order flow and the market just keeps blasting through your areas. That's where a trade plan comes into play. Your strategy works, and that's great. And your strategy should work in most market conditions, and it will, as long as you have somewhat of a good strategy. But there's got to be a point in which you say, okay, my strategy is not working right now, and that's when your trade plan should work. That's why you have your daily loss defined, right? You have all these things. All you're doing is showing up. Remember, it's the strategy's job to be profitable. All you're doing, you're not even important. You're just a button clicker. So hopefully that answers your question.
I get it.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna hop off, you guys. Here's my results. I did take one more stab somewhere. Let me see. It was the quickest trade I had all morning. It was literally right here. It had come up to here and it had pulled back, and I don't remember what I was targeting, but we were someplace there were some levels up here. Yeah, right here. We were looking for price to reach this area or that area or something like that. I don't know. And I took the trade, but I actually messed the trade up, so I didn't have time to move my TP. I think I was trying to take this trade right here, actually, this little pullback type of trade right there, and either here or here, and I just messed it up. I made 150 on it is what I ended up doing. So I made an extra 150. I think that those were my final. Yeah, those were the final results for me. So there we are. Another day, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow, which will be hold on. Wednesday. Tomorrow will be Wednesday. I think. No, today is Wednesday. Tomorrow will be Thursday.
And I have a question.
That's so funny. I was just talking to my girlfriend about that this morning. We were trying to figure out what day it was yesterday. Yeah, tell me your question.
We talked yesterday. You're going to help me put my indicators on my chart because I'm struggling with that. And you wanted me, should I use the same ticket that we've been talking in?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll
yeah, I'm gonna hop off of here and I'll go through the tickets. Any tickets I have, I'll respond to, and I'll have some time. We can hop on and I'll hook up your indicators.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You are welcome. All right, guys. See you in the morning.
Have a good day, Ken.
I'll see you in a little while.
Thanks,
Thank
Ken.
you,
Have a
bye.
good day.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks, Ken.
You're welcome. See y'all later.
Take care.